a guy who's been dominating the paint in the men's game. He's now everyone's, I guess, new favorite basketball player. I know he's mine for sure. But even Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets late to a podium because he was watching DJ Burns of North Carolina State. This is what I love about not just a transfer portal, but also about March Madness. It's stories like DJ Burns, who's really taken over America over the last couple weekends with obviously his size, but charisma, his smile, just the way that he has so much fun. I love that they're in the Final Four and that he's now sort of the guy I'm looking at to hopefully go out and continue some more success for North Carolina State.
He is exactly why we love March Madness, because we entered the men's tournament saying, hey, they don't really have the same star power that the women do, these household names. And then you get a DJ Burns that breaks out and we get to know him over the course of multiple weeks. And I think it really helped NC State that they had to go out and win 5 games in 5 days in the ACC tournament. I'm sure they would have preferred not to do that and to comfortably make the field another way. But it gave all of us a chance to get to know this team and fall for them and DJ Burns in the lead up to the actual NCAA tournament. I mean, we saw those crowds. We've heard those crowds, the way they cheer when he gets the ball, because you don't always see teams playing with this style, playing through a big man like that. And then, as you mentioned, the charisma, the dancing, the joy that you see out of him during these games. How do you not love this guy? I mean, I was thinking about this last night. I think he is not going to ever have to buy another drink in the state of North Carolina. But don't we think he's made so many fans so many other places that like he could go to Chicago where I live, people buy him a drink. I mean, he's just such a delight, and he is exactly what we love about this tournament.
Yeah, and I think also you said it best too. He's got everyone's eyeballs right now to a point where if he puts his name in the NFL draft, he could possibly be drafted at the end of this month. Some team is like, that athleticism, that charisma, we can use him somewhere, tight end, outside, defensive line, something. He's showing off that kind of athleticism right now. I mean, honestly, Nicole, that's where players like that, you start to say, wow, I didn't know. I was not familiar with his game, but kind of, and you college, I mean, you follow college sports, and obviously the transfer portal is always topic of discussion, or NIL. And yet we always talk about some of the things that go wrong. I feel like this is one of those that goes right. This is why there is a transfer portal for a guy who goes to Winthrop, says, I want to take my game to another level, to the highest level of college basketball. He does that and actually is successful, and now has turned what a guy who nobody knew to now a fan favorite.
Yeah, exactly. And I do think we dwell a lot on the negatives. I do think there's less of a stigma around actually transferring than there used to be even 8 years ago. But this is why it exists. This is why, players make moves. It's like when, professionals in their job, you get promoted and you get a new job. And there is that upward movement. There's also downward movement when a guy's maybe sitting on the bench at a Power 5 program and he wants to go down a level and play more at a mid-major. But it is part of this. You find a place where you work, you fit the system, you develop, you have the right coaches, the right teammates, and you can just capture some of this magic. It's awesome to see. And I agree that we should be highlighting this. A lot of teams these days are led by transfers. They're remade by transfers. It's part of the game these days. But I do think we need to stop just vilifying anyone who does it and seeing how that they can actually find the place that they were meant to be, surrounded by the right pieces around them. And again, I don't think anyone predicted that NC State would be in this position in the Final Four, but there are lots of things we can take away from it, because you also had a coach who was maybe like on the hottest of hot seats, and you have a little patience. The team is playing hard for him. It's magic in a bottle for sure, but I do think that there's certain parts about this team and this run that really resonate in this particular era of college sports, where it's so much about instant gratification and instant success. And this team defies a lot of that with the way that they've been built, and this run in particular.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.